New Thought Media. New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment. New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Good evening, and welcome to the Miracle of Prosperity here on the New Thought Media Network. I'm your host, the Reverend Dr. Jim Webb. I'm the Senior Minister of the Tacoma Metaphysical Chapel in Silver Spring, Maryland, and I'm the author of a number of books on prosperity, including Prosperity from A to Z, 30 P's to Prosperity, Forgive Your Way to Prosperity, and Create Your Self-Manifesting Vision Board. And of course, I'm also the author of The Soul of Prosperity. So each week, we come to you and we discuss a different aspect of prosperity. We may discuss professional prosperity, where you have a perfect job with perfect pay, where you provide a wonderful service in a wonderful way. We may discuss relationship prosperity and how your inner relationship with yourself, as you cultivate an inner dialogue of love, self-acceptance, and unconditional loving acceptance for yourself, is reflected in your outer relationships because they are supportive and loving to you. We may also describe logistical prosperity, where your life simply works more easily, effortlessly, and joyfully, and where you have a prosperity of resources of all kinds, including support, encouragement, and financial resources to meet your needs, more than enough to spare and more than enough to share. Or we, of course, at the underpinning of all of this, will discuss spiritual prosperity, where you have the peace that passes all understanding and a spiritual energy that you cultivate that allows your good. So tonight, we're going to look at our spiritual environment and we're going to discuss setting a trap for prosperity. Tonight, we'll discuss setting a trap for prosperity. And when I used that title, some folks said, "What are you talking about, a trap? That sounds kind of scary and negative." Well, let's look at it this way. A trap is an energetic and spiritual environment that you cultivate that is inviting, attractive, and alluring to the prosperity that you desire. In other words, setting a trap is creating an environment conducive to the prosperity that you desire. And there are a number of ways to set such a trap. And it has all to do with creating the consciousness of prosperity. So that's what we're going to discuss tonight. And I'm very pleased to have with me my very special guest. Some of you know him well, the beloved Ed Miller. He's the author of the book Soul Power, a powerful spiritual teacher, a wonderful friend, and a proponent of Ho'oponopono as a way to allow prosperity.
Yes, I agree.
Yes. So speaking of a trap, setting a trap for prosperity, a powerful trap for prosperity is Ho'oponopono. So would you like to discuss that with our guests and why it is such a trap for prosperity, Ed?
Ho'oponopono is a beautiful trap. It creates a vibrational consciousness that aligns you with good and love and peace and compassion and forgiveness. And all it is adopting a mantra that inspires your vibration. It raises your vibration. And the mantra is simple. It's a simple mantra. I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me and thank you. Again, is I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me and thank you. And that mantra raises your vibration. And because I've allowed that mantra to be ground into my psyche, I just ground it into my psyche. And as a result of that, it has inspired me to live introspectively. Just pay a lot of attention to what I'm feeling, to what I'm caught in, to what I'm resisting. All those types of things that the Ho'oponopono mantra allows you to look at because you're no longer in resistance to anything.
Yes.
Yes.
So the Ho'oponopono mantra creates introspection, it raises your vibration, and a raised vibration is a vibration more amenable to prosperity. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I said before that prosperity is all about consciousness.
Yes.
And Ho'oponopono is about raising your consciousness to a level where only good is you're receiving. You're no longer in resistance to anything. So once you're no longer in resistance to anything, nothing can come to you but blessings.
Yes.
And once you start to see it that way, you realize how empowering that point of view is, and how you no longer you no longer have to fight for anything. You no longer have to strive. Everything is yours to begin with. And that's a beautiful way to live. That's a prosperity consciousness.
Yes. And you bring up an excellent point there, that what you implied is very important for our guests to understand. What you implied is that prosperity is a natural flow, and that you have to create the inner energetic and spiritual environment for that prosperity to flow to you. Yes. It is not something that we have to chase. No, it is something that finds us when we set the right trap. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Well, it is about how we are committed to the consciousness that we're trying to create.
Yes.
The trap. We have to be committed to it. You have to be devoted to these loving, forgiving practices, and get out
Yes.
and realize that that has to be part of your nature now.
Yes.
You've got to get anxiety, and you got to see what that is. You got to get jealousy and see what that is, and stop buying into those lower consciousness, and
Yeah.
stop buying into those lower consciousness, and expand in higher consciousness with truth
Yes.
and love and forgiveness and and gratitude. Those are all
Yes.
things that bring prosperity, beautiful kinds of prosperity to you on all the levels you talked about.
Yes.
Things, love, relationships. It's abundant. You're attracting now nothing but goodness to you, and that's
Yes.
the way to live.
Hmm.
And
So let's look at some.
it's not a hard sacrifice, Jim,
Yes.
Reverend Jim. It's about commitment.
Yes.
You know, we have to start being sick and tired of how
Hmm.
hard our lives are.
Hmm.
And we have to be willing to be open to looking at solutions to making our lives more abundant and
Yes.
more, prosperous.
Yes.
Because if not, we're going to be caught up in all this uh, um, world we're in right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want to drill down on something that you said. It seemed tangential, but it's not. And what you said is it's not a big sacrifice to release the consciousness of
Not,
conflict,
not,
doubt,
it's
self
not
rejection. Because what you're releasing is your pain.
exactly.
What you're releasing is the part of you that forgot that you were divine and divinely deserving of
And
every
what you're
good.
also leaving is your habitual thinking. You're
Yes.
letting that go too. You're being aware of it and you're letting that go in awareness.
Yes. So this discipline, one of which is Ho'oponopono, is a discipline that enables you to release the habitual thinking, to be aware of those thought habits that are self-destructive,
Yeah.
to transform them, and
Yeah.
thus to create the inner environment, which is a trap,
Yes.
for prosperity.
Yes.
Good. So let's
Yeah.
look at some other ways to create this inner environment that is conducive to inviting for and thus a trap for prosperity. Let's
Yeah.
look at prayer because that's one of my favorite prosperity traps. And let's look specifically at affirmative prayer. And let's look at how and why that is a trap for prosperity.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, affirmative prayer is it's like the prayer without ceasing, just always being aware of how blessed you are and how you have the capability of finding your flow and finding your
Yes,
prosperity, and that it's not
yes,
far away from you. It's not in
yes,
another world. It's right there in front of you right now. It's just another point of view. It's just
yes,
seeing it differently.
yes,
All those
yes,
things are ways to realign with your prosperous self, your higher self.
yes. And the thing I love about affirmative prayer is how affirmative prayer and the different aspects of it are very specifically designed to change your inner environment and set that trap. For
Yes.
example, the first part of affirmative prayer, where we invoke, invite, become aware of, become thankful for, and become appreciative of the power and light of God all around us, that begins to shift our consciousness because we
Yes.
begin to see, feel, sense, and know of God all around us. And then the second part is where we align with that. That alignment, God, you are infinite abundance. God,
Yes.
I am your beloved child, fully deserving of every
Yes.
gift of
Yes. Yes.
abundance that you offer. That alignment aligns us with
I
that
am
energy.
that. I am that.
Yes,
Yes. I
exactly.
love it. Yes.
And
Yes.
that I am that begins to create that, let's call it an internal cauldron, which stews our prosperity.
It does.
And then we stew that prosperity by naming it instead of saying, oh, gimme, 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 or I want, I want, I want, I want, I want. I am, I have, I experience, I receive, I see, I feel, I am.
Yes.
And that is taking that energy and taking advantage of that environment and creating the vibration that we choose to attract.
Yeah. And then thank you.
Yes, yes,
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you is such a powerful alignment.
Yes.
It's a heartfelt alignment. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my body.
Yes.
Thank you for my awareness. Thank you
Yes.
for my goodness. Thank you for kindness in the world. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for the peace that I feel in my heart. Thank you for, and I think aligning with all that is also raising your vibration and prosperity
Yes.
too. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So Ho'oponopono and prayer are two ways to set a trap for your prosperity.
Yes.
There are others. So we're going to go to break and then we're going to come back and discuss some others. But in the meantime, say hello, let us know you're here. And if you've got any questions for us, please put them in the comments. And we'll be right back to you here on the New Thought Media Network.
Come expand your spiritual journey. Join us for Just the Talk, Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Experience Unity Kitchener and Ottawa. Center for Spiritual Living Midtown. Center for Spiritual Living Denver. Unity of Garden Park. New Thought Philadelphia. The Sunshine Cathedral. Unity of Savannah. And the Om Center for Spiritual Living. Come unleash your spiritual potential with New Thought Media Network. Please help us say thank you to all of our organizational sponsors, including the Hepperlin Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Center for Spiritual Living United Life, Sunshine Cathedral, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Universal Joy Center, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center, Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living, Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. On behalf of New Thought Media Network, thank you. And please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network. Come be you.
What would Louise say? Join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Hosted by Reverend Martine Bernard. Explore the wisdom of Louise Hay. Brought to you by New Thought Media Network. Dive into Louise's teachings. Experience healing and empowerment. Reverend Martine shares insights. Connect with a contemporary audience. Unlock your potential. Transform your life with love. Embrace positivity and healing. Join our vibrant community. Ready to join us? Let's spread love and wisdom together. Please like, share, and subscribe. Only on New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
And we're back here on the New Thought Media Network, and we're discussing setting a trap for prosperity. A trap that we set is an inner trap. It's an inner environment conducive to attracting the good we desire. And we cultivate that inner environment in a number of different ways. We discussed two already. We discussed Ho'oponopono and we discussed prayer. Now what I'd like to, and our special guest is my dear friend, spiritual teacher, wise man, author of the book, Soul Power.
Uncovering and embracing soul power.
Uncovering and Embracing Soul Power, not the James Brown song.
No, no.
And, and so that's Ed Miller. So we're so glad to have you, Ed.
I'm
And so
grateful.
what I want to drill down on a little more is a concept that is intrinsic in Ho'oponopono, but I would like to tease that out just a little more. And that concept is forgiveness.
Yes.
A Course in Miracles lesson 121 says, forgiveness is the key to happiness.
It is.
And 122 says, forgiveness offers everything I want. And then a later lesson says, let me understand forgiveness as it really is. And the essence of these teachings in A Course tell us that forgiveness ultimately is the development of an inner state of oneness, unity with God, and the release of the grievances and the false ideas that cause us to believe ourselves to be separate from God and
Yes.
its creative energy that allows our prosperity.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit more about forgiveness and why that can help us to set the trap for prosperity.
Well, Ho'oponopono believes that all forgiveness is ultimately self-forgiveness.
Yes.
And that everything is the self. And as we and also it tells you to take full responsibility. Now, full responsibility is not as heavy as you think it is. It's taking full responsibility for everything you think and see in the world. Everything. You're no longer a victim of anything anymore when you take full responsibility for everything. And
Yes.
it can sound a very haunting
Yes.
thing to do to take full responsibility.
And the reason that taking full responsibility sounds very daunting is because when we hear the word responsibility, we think blame.
Yes.
We think guilt. We think not enoughness. We think failure. We
Yes.
think I messed up again.
Yes.
So we hear responsibility, but we think in the ways that are consistent with our most wounded selves. And so we have to undo that thought before we can even begin to take responsibility. And you know how I like to undo that thought? I like to undo that thought by leveraging on something you already said. We are not a victim. I think instead of taking responsibility, you are taking your power. You are understanding the full extent of your creative power. And in understanding the full extent of your creative power, you can then allow it to work for you instead of causing it to work against you.
I agree. But let me say something to you. I don't want to make this appear as though it's simple and easy, because it's really not.
It's not. It's a process.
It is a process. Taking I have been doing this for 15 or so years, and I understand it because I've become it. But I think that before people are able to truly ingest it, it's going to require them to take little steps. Take little steps of awareness. Be aware that that everything in your life, your day, is based on how you see it. That's taking full responsibility. Your life circumstances is based on how you've seen life in your conscious, and you have the ability to change it at any moment. At any moment.
Yes. And that's powerful. That's very powerful.
Yeah.
Yes. So when we understand that, we can understand that we can move into forgiveness, including self-forgiveness, by understanding, we just, as A Course in Miracles teaches us, don't beat yourself up. You made a mistake. You make a mistake every day. You made a mistake yesterday. You're going to make a mistake tomorrow. It's all right. And one of the things that helps me to put that into context is that's the reason you're here. You came to Earth to see the errors of your thinking so that you can correct them. So don't beat yourself up when you see the errors of your thinking. You are on your soul's path by seeing an outpicturing, an outward expression of your inner thoughts and energies so that you can then choose to change them for the better.
Yeah, but I don't want to disregard all these people that have spent years suffering and they've become very attached to their story.
Yes.
I want to be aware that even people who are that are stuck that deeply in this story can find a little bit of awareness that allow them to find their way out of it.
Yes. And one of the things that helps me when I coach and counsel people to help them begin to release their story, first of all, I see that, A Course in Miracles sees so many things as binary. And one of the things implicitly that it sees is you can either be stuck in your story or you can release it for your glory.
Exactly.
And one of the things that helps me to help others when they get stuck in their story is, what would be a story that you would enjoy instead of this story? And just asking them whimsically, what would be a story that you would enjoy?
How can you see that differently?
Exactly. That's a way of asking them. How can you see this differently? What story, if you could wave a magic wand, what story would you make up that you would enjoy instead of this story? And interestingly enough, just them creating an infinitesimal spot in their mind for a different story is almost like the straw that breaks the camel's back.
That's the mirror. That's the mirror. That's the
yes.
Mirror. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
It helps them to release. It helps them to be more willing to release the story. We're all children, right? And if you don't want a child playing with something that could be likely dangerous, what do? You take it out of their hand, but you put something else in their hand that's less dangerous or that it is not dangerous. So we as children, we need an alternative before we can release what we've been stuck on.
I agree. And what you're saying essentially is we need a better story.
Yes, exactly.
That's interesting. That's it. And I think that when we're crawling out of our suffering, we do need to start with a better story. You're right.
Yes.
But then once you become more self-aware, you gotta let go of stories altogether.
Absolutely.
And just remember the truth of who you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because once you remember the truth of your nature, you don't have to bear anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is so true. And so, whoever you are, wherever you are under the sound of our voices, if there is a story that is playing out in your life, just ask yourself, what would be a story that I would like to play out in my life that would cause me joy and peace instead? And make room for that.
Yes.
And that alternative can literally help you to release the power that you have given your old story over you. So this concept of forgiveness is about, we've been talking a lot about the core premise of A Course in Miracles, help me see things differently. And forgiveness, this concept of forgiveness that is inherent in Ho'oponopono, is the concept of let me see this differently. Instead of I'm guilty, there's something wrong with me and I need to beat myself up, just I'm sorry. Lo siento.
Oh,
I have feelings.
I'm sorry. And often all we're apologizing for is the lack of awareness.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes. We're not apologizing for being bad people. We're not apologizing for this, that, and the other. It's like, lo siento. I feel something. And this feeling was brought by my lack of awareness.
Yes.
Yes.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Yeah.
Let us move to a different state. Let us see it differently.
Yes.
Let us shift our consciousness. Thank you. Thank you for this lesson, this blessing, and this experience of transformation. And I love you, for I am love. And so
I am love, yes. See, look at you knowing Ho'oponopono.
I don't know Ho'oponopono. I just know what you taught me. So thank you very much.
That was beautiful.
Thank you very much. I just know what you taught me and what you have taught our viewers that we can continually share with them so that they can build a trap for prosperity.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go on break again. And if you've got any questions, please put them in the comments. And we're going to answer your questions and come back with a couple of other things that we want to share with you here on the Miracle of Prosperity.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents the Science of Mind Saturday Conversations. Learn more about the Science of Mind philosophy, faith, and way of life. Join our team of experts for a weekly deep dive discussion. Come study the science of mind, chapter by chapter, and resources from the Science of Mind archives. Plan to join us every Saturday, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Only on the New Thought Media Network. Come expand your spiritual journey. Join us for Just the Talk. Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Experience Unity Kitchener and Ottawa. Center for Spiritual Living Midtown. Center for Spiritual Living Denver. Unity of Garden Park. New Thought Philadelphia. The Sunshine Cathedral. Unity of Savannah. And the Om Center for Spiritual Living. Come unleash your spiritual potential with New Thought Media Network.
And we're back here on the New Thought Media Network. And we're discussing creating a trap for prosperity. And that trap is your inner environment, making it conducive, attractive, and inviting to the prosperity that you desire through prayer, through Ho'oponopono, by cultivating an energy of forgiveness, and finally, an energy of gratitude. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, I think gratitude is an energy. I mean, the whole idea of saying thank you raises your vibration. Just say thank you for the grocery store. That raises your vibration. So if you can chant thank you continually and without ceasing, come on.
Yes.
Everything you look at, you thank God for. Everything you experience, you thank God for the experience of it.
Yes.
Wow. What kind of prosperity would you have then?
And you know, one of the things that just occurred to me, Ed, around that, when you are saying thank you and acknowledging the presence and power of God all around you through your thanksgiving, through that appreciation, and through that awareness, what you're really heightening is your awareness of God.
Yes.
And you heighten your awareness of God, you optimize the power of God to work with you, work through you, work as you. And you feel and sense and know of God all around you. And you feel and sense and know of your union with God, and that you are in a unified field of energy with all things. And that brings us to a space consciously where, as A Course in Miracles says, where the world bends to the will of the Holy Beloved. And what I mean by that is, I thought that was just the silliest, most esoteric thing the first time I read it in A Course in Miracles. But over time, I realized what that was trying to convey. And that is, just like the lesson says, God is in everything because God is in my mind. When we realize that there is an energy of God in everything, and that energy of God, regardless of what form it takes, wants our greatest good. And just like a sunflower bends towards the sun, that energy will bend all things to us when we acknowledge it, when we appreciate it, when we are aware of it, and when we feel deserving of it. That aspect of the power of Thanksgiving just became more clear to me recently. And that's one of the things.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yes.
I always tell you guys I'm a swimmer. I swim. I love to swim. And when I swim, I do the Ho'oponopono.
Okay.
And I end my swim with thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're swimming or walking or running or doing any kind of movement, and you're chanting thank you, at the end of your run, you are absolutely high. You are absolutely elevated. You start having these these broad feelings, these expansive feelings you have, because you ground that thank you into your heart. So you
Yeah.
start with just thanking God for everything that you can think of, everything that comes to mind, and then
Yeah.
you just start general thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for my life. Thank you for this moment. Thank you. Just really go there, and
Yes.
it will change your vibration.
Yes.
It'll bring
And
different things into your life.
absolutely. It keeps your mind from focusing on what you don't have, because
Oh
what you
yeah,
focus on
yeah,
is what you
yeah.
get more of. And if you
Absolutely.
focus on your lack
You
and your
push all
problems and
that
your
crap out of
issues,
your way in gratitude.
right. Yes.
You can't
Beautiful.
you can't have gratitude and be obnoxious and negative. You just can't.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
gratitude requires you to raise your vibration in love.
Yes. And as Muller says in his book, Legacy of the Heart, love and fear cannot occupy the same
They
space.
can't.
So
They
when
can't.
you are in gratitude, you are
Yeah.
in love. So
Yeah.
you are not in the fear and negativity of lack.
Exactly.
Beautiful. So there are 4 simple strategies for each and every one of us. And there are so many more. So we just touched the tip of the iceberg here. But there are 4 specific strategies that we have outlined that can help us to build a trap for prosperity, to create an internal, energetic, vibrational environment conducive to and attractive of our desires.
Very good.
Ho'oponopono, forgiveness, and gratitude. So, the point of all of this is these are spiritual practices to transform your consciousness. Your spiritual practice is by default a practice of prosperity, and your practice of prosperity is by default your spiritual practice.
Absolutely.
So, one of the things you said, Ed, is we must be committed to this path. And so I want to end with this idea. When you are committed to your path of spiritual growth, spiritual healing, and spiritual transformation, by default, you're committed to the path of prosperity.
You are.
And vice versa, when you're committed to the path of prosperity, you are committed to the path of spiritual growth, spiritual healing, and spiritual transformation. Because A Course in Miracles says everyone is entitled to miracles, but purification is necessary first.
That's right. I want to make one statement to the audience.
Yes.
Be aware of what your resistance is to prosperity.
Yes.
Be aware of what your resistance is to prosperity. And it could be something really simple. It could be something that's really ground deep into your consciousness, but be aware of whatever it is and speak it. Speak it. Say, this is my resistance to, I believe this and I believe that. Because being aware of it and saying it is powerful, because it gives
Absolutely.
you see what you're stuck in.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And I never claim it. What I do is I say, this is the resistance of my ego.
Yes.
And that helps me to detach from it a little bit more. Because if it's mine, you can't have it. Like Stevie Wonder said, it's mine, you can't take it. So I say, it's my ego's. You can have that, because my ego is just creating more messes.
It creates more problems.
Yeah, exactly.
As you become more prosperous or self-aware or consciously aware, little things don't matter much anymore.
Yes.
Things that you found yourself wired up about, you let go of quick, like it's hot.
Yes, like it's hot.
Yeah.
Drop it like it's hot.
Hot rock.
Amen.
Exactly.
Drop it like it's hot.
Yeah.
So we won't talk about the dance step. Drop it like it's hot.
No.
We will just drop these bad, these aspects of negative consciousness like
That's right.
Are.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
Okay. But I want to thank you so much for being our guest. What are you working on these days?
Well, I'm actually building a house.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's my new passion right now for a while.
Okay.
But I did have some goals for this year. I'm going to start working on my second book. I've already kind of worked on an outline for it. I'm seeing, as you know, as you evolve, you see things differently. Yes. I see things differently than I did last year.
Yes.
And it's an evolution. And this new book I'm writing is an evolution too. Okay. So that's what I'm working on now.
Okay. Can you build me a house?
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, thank you. I want to thank you, Ed, for being our guest tonight. I'm working on a couple of interesting things.
Well,
now, I'm working on redesigning my website because I've
Oh,
got two new things that I've prepared for it. Some of you may remember a fictional character I created named Sakithia McQueen.
okay.
She's a fictional character who gets into all kinds of hilarious scrapes and learns all kinds of spiritual lessons.
Okay.
Sakithia McQueen has been dormant for a while,
Okay.
but Sakithia McQueen is coming back and coming back with a vengeance. One of my mentors who died almost a year ago today loved Sakithia. And she would say, Jim, when you gonna do some more Sakithia McQueen? Because she loved reading it because it was like a soap opera. But Sakithia taught us valuable lessons in spirituality in the form of this soap opera and all the scrapes she got herself into. So I'm working on more Sakithia.
That's
And
very,
once my
that's
website is updated to support it, Sakithia will be back.
to be back.
Stay tuned for Sakithia. And that's what I want to share that I'm working on these
Well,
days.
that's exciting.
Yeah. And my classes, they're closed out, but you can still audit them, which means that you can still get the recordings and you can still get the benefit of the classes by getting the recordings and working on them when at your leisure, opening the channel, no matter where you are in your spiritual development, you are a channel for the information and the energy of God. And you just want to open that more and more so you become more aware of God's presence and so you can use the guidance and wisdom of God to navigate your life to keep you from all of those potholes that you run into. And so that's an 8-week experiential intensive where we have strong experiences of channeling to build the strength in our channel. And then the other class that I'm doing, which is on Thursdays, is Spirit Speaks on manifesting your vision. You've created this wonderful set of ideas, this vision for yourself in 2026. And you wonder now how am I going to do this? Well, ask Spirit. Spirit will give you guidance on your vision. Spirit will give you guidance on overcoming the unconscious blockages to your vision. Spirit will give you guidance on the spiritual practices, thoughts, and approaches that can help you to manifest your vision. And Spirit will offer you prayers, energetic healing, and transformation to allow your vision. So ask Spirit, Spirit will tell you. Those classes are open for audit. You get the recordings, and you can work on what Spirit offers you at your leisure. So that's what I'm working on. So with that, I'm going to bid our guests good night. And I want to thank you once again for your presence and sharing your time and your wisdom with our guests. I also want to thank our producer, Michael Mangus. So with that, everyone, continue creating your trap for prosperity on the New Thought Media Network. Good night.
Good night.